There's some military activity going on out here. Not sure what that's about. Been a lot of drills here lately with military. Of course, we have an Air Force base here. Anyway, truth to a T here. How you doing, everybody? I wore my. Hopefully, you can see that. I wore my Mercedes hat today. This was given to me by my nephew. He was at a Formula One race last year, I think it was, in Morocco. So he bought me this, and it's part of the story today. I want to talk today about minimalism and becoming a minimalist. Wow, that's beautiful out there. Such a beautiful day here. Anyway, I want to talk about minimalism. I have a company that we had, my business partner and I, we had company cars up until last year. We had, for 6 years in a row, we had two different 3-year stints. We had Mercedes GLS 450s, which of course the company paid for. Now, I would never buy a car like that. In many ways, I've always been a minimalist. I've never really lived. I've never wanted to live beyond my means. I've never had. I think if I was the richest man in the world, I'd probably be more more like Elon Musk, where I'd be happier working than spending money on some mansion somewhere that doesn't impress me. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So after driving the GLS 450 for the last 3 years and giving it back, I gave it back. I gave mine back. It had a lot of mileage. I wasn't going to buy it out at the end of the lease, but I sent it back, and I haven't bought anything else since. It just didn't bother. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not sure what I want, and whatever I do has to be practical. And I don't buy things to impress others. There's a great saying: "Be careful you don't go broke impressing broke people." Anyway, I sent back that car, and I drive a 2014 Prius. It's my wife's old car because we bought the Tesla. The Tesla, people don't understand the whole story about why people pay money for Teslas, but there's two reasons. Anyway, so when I sent back the Mercedes, I jump into this Prius, and my people were like concerned. They're like, "Hey, what happened to Mercedes?" I'm like, "Oh, that was a lease car. I sent it back." Like, is everything okay? I'm like, "Yeah, everything's great." Why? And all of a sudden, I realized, wow, I'm being judged because I don't have a $100,000 car anymore. 85,000 actually. I think there might be 100,000 now. But anyway, I thought this is really interesting, So now I'm at the point now to where I'm having a whole bunch of fun with this, because I joke now. My friends are like, "Oh, what do you get? What's wrong with you? You're too cheap to buy a car. Look at all the money you got." And by the way, I'm not an extremely rich man. I'm okay, but I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, now I joke about it. I'm like, "No, man, it's nice driving the Prius around. People think I'm poor. They're like, wow, look at that old man in the Prius. Poor guy. He must not have done too much in his life. Look at him. He's poor now. He should have a nicer car. Should have something more comfortable. He's a big guy. That car is too small for him." So anyway, I'm having look at that tree. Isn't that beautiful? I'm having a lot of fun with this, but it also makes me realize how addicted we are to things. And like I said, things don't impress me. So It's amazing how differently I'm treated in the Prius as opposed to the Mercedes. You know, I kind of got, I wouldn't say dirty looks, but people look at you when you drive a Mercedes in a different way. They're like, yeah, look at that rich guy. You know, he probably screwed people so he can buy buy a car like that. Meanwhile, they really don't have a clue what's going on in a person's life. So I saw a great quote recently, and I thought it was amazing. In America, a person who drives an $80,000 car with $1,000 in his pocket is considered rich, and a person who drives a $1,000 car with $80,000 in the bank or in his pocket is considered poor. And that's where we are. But let me get to the Tesla part of this story. And what's interesting about Tesla, when we bought the Model 3, we bought it, it was expensive when we bought it. I knew it was expensive. I knew that the price was going to come down. I knew the car wouldn't be worth what it was a year, you know, what it was a year later. No car is, right? I've talked about that enough. We're not going to talk about that again. Teslas, by the way, are going to come down even more in price very, very soon. So anyway, I see Tesla and I see the future of Tesla and everything that they're doing and everything other companies are doing as a form of minimalism. Now, sure, the car is expensive, but the fact that we charge it at our house is phenomenal. The other thing that's going to happen, people don't realize this. People think things are going to get more expensive. They're actually not. We're going to go into a scenario where you're going to have deflation instead of inflation. As battery technology develops, the cars are going to get cheaper. As the battery technology as regards energy, Tesla, of course, is an energy company as well. We know this. Anybody who's watching my videos know this because they're really smart people. So as the battery technology and the energy storage technology gets better, the cost of energy will come down. You're seeing this already with oil. Oil demand is weakening. Now they're saying because it's a bad economy and all this stuff. Well, partly. But guess what? People are not moving around as much. So that's happening. Now all of that is going to lead to minimalism. People just won't be spending as much, and they won't be impressed by big things or big homes or big cars. There's always going to be a percentage of people that are going to want that. I saw an interesting story yesterday. Home Depot are about to launch a tiny home platform where you're going to be able to buy a tiny home through Home Depot. It will come with plans, instructions, how to build. Basically, anybody who's handy will be able to build this. And you'll be able to buy a house through Home Depot. I believe they're speculating the price will be around $60,000. And this will be known as an ADU. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. In Europe, they would call it a granny flat or a grandparent's home. ADU is an additional dwelling unit. So this would be placed in your backyard, and you know, you would build it yourself. So moving forward, people will be spending less. People will be living more simply. The next generation, the millennials that everybody likes to complain about and bitch about, they're not going to put up with this consumerism. They're not going to buy into the brainwashing of, buy this car. You look so much better in this car. This car is going to save your family's life. Or if you don't have this, style or this brand of sunglasses, you're not cool. No, they're not doing that. And here's the thing about minimalism. Minimalism is not about saving money. Minimalism is not about not having nice things. Poor people are not minimalists. Minimalism is a lifestyle. It's a choice. And basically, what it does is it de-stresses your life. It removes all stress from your life. So when you purchase things, you don't just run out and purchase things. You're not just, hitting the send button or hitting the order cart on the internet 10 times a day and having boxes of useless things delivered to your house. You're buying things strategically, and they're very, very well planned out. You're not just jumping into frivolous purchases. So, just so you know, watch over the next year or so, watch the price of certain things go down. Prices of many things are going to go down. You're seeing it already in the restaurant industry. I'm seeing you have these community pages where people will go on and say, hey, I'm coming to your town. Do you know where this is? What's a good restaurant? What's a good, nightclub? Where can I buy this? Where can I get my hair cut? Where can I do this and that? Where can I rent this or that? And now in our industry, in the restaurant industry, we're starting to see a lot of posters now saying, who knows a good chef that can come to our house and cook us a meal? Who's got a good barbecue company that can come to our house and set up a barbecue? Liquor delivery is becoming a thing. A couple of years ago there, Amazon bought a company called Drizzle. Now, Amazon can't sell liquor yet, but it's coming. Trust me. When that happens, it's going to be a game changer. You're seeing other YouTubers on here now talking about the cost of living, and they're talking about the fact that they're now bringing lunch with them. Some of these guys travel. They travel to different, some of them drive. Like there's one guy, Dan, I forget the name of his channel. I'll try to remember it. He drives a lot, and he makes his YouTube videos as, in different towns. And what he would do in the past is he would go and he would have something to eat at a restaurant. He doesn't do that anymore. He packs a lunch now. He brings his lunch with him. I find myself doing that. And I'm in the business. I want to support the restaurant, right? I want to support restaurants, and I do. I go out, I support, I tip really good. But yesterday, for instance, I was running around. I was kind of busy, and I needed lunch. And I'm driving by a grocery store. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go in there and grab something to make, and I'll come home and I'll make it in my house, and I'll sit on my porch. I'll sit in my patio, and I'll catch up on some stuff online while I'm doing it. So this is all changing. Tesla, people who are buying Teslas, mostly, they're not looking to spend money on some crazy, ridiculous electric car. They're looking to save money. And over time, the cost of ownership of a Tesla is going to be cheaper than any other car. So you need to understand this. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Look around. I mean, this is happening, folks. It's changing so fast that I'm not sure anybody is prepared. And by the way, there isn't a downside to any of this. I know people are saying that people are going to lose jobs and that everything is going to go away. People are going to be poor. They're going to lose their homes. Probably not. Some people will, just like always. The people that made bad decisions will be hurt the worst. The people who made wise decisions will be okay. If you have more car than you should have, or if you have more house than you should have, yeah, you might want to look out. But over time, this is all going to work itself out. Who remembers Kodak? Who remembers cassette tape? Who remembers VCRs? All the companies, all the big, large companies that made those went out of business. They were replaced by other companies, other technologies. The electric vehicle revolution is going to bring more jobs. It's going to replace jobs that, they're saying it's going to kill certain companies. Sure it is, but those jobs are going to be replaced with other jobs. There's huge battery manufacturing companies now opening up. There's huge battery recycling companies opening up. So it's all going to work itself out over time. But for the consumer, things are going to get cheaper, not more expensive. Don't kid yourself. Now, I'm going to finish this video with this. There is one thing that's going to get more expensive, and that is the government. The government are part of the problem here. They're way bigger than they need to be. And I'm going to do another video on that specifically. And I'm going to explain to you why so many government entities should not be in existence today. And the only reason they are is the government do one thing. They do many things very badly. But one thing they don't do well at all is they don't lay people off. They're always trying to hold on to their employees. And you're paying for that. So just remember that. Anyway, listen, I hope you like this video. This is truth to a T. I call myself a walking loser because I walk 5 miles a day and I lose weight. And I do this little YouTube thing so I can chat with you guys and hopefully bring a little information, bring a little joy, bring a little laughter. I hope you'll like and subscribe. I hope you'll comment. If you think I'm wrong, I really want you to comment because I want to learn. I have never learned anything by myself. All I've learned in my life has been listening to and communicating with other people. So please let me know if there's anything I'm missing here. And most importantly, I want you to love yourself and I want you to take care of others. Have a great day.